he obviously kind of hates her. So especially at first, in the first few scenes, there's this kind of weird deference / expectation that she will just kind of get him home, or even though he kind of knows she's lying, but he still gives her the benefit of the doubt. So I think that's why he's not kind of going for her jugular, and that relationship kind of then erodes from there and changes obviously and becomes something different. That would be my clever answer.
Well, we have time for one more question, and I'm going to go right there. Yeah, so the question is really about the ending and the choice to show Danny running away.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of conversations about that, especially you, I mean, Jess and Oscar as well. And I remember we were talking about like how life finds a way. Is that, what film is that? Jurassic Park. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
the big tie-in to the film.
Yeah. So we really wanted to do it as a tribute to Jurassic Park. No, what?
the subtle context.
Jess, you can go on.
Well, yeah, I think it was a conversation that took many turns, but I feel like ultimately we felt like leaving it on a super bleak note. I don't know. I think it's funny for me because I think, the twists and turns that we go through, Danny kind of ultimately ends up becoming the hero, even though he's still, Danny. So I think our sympathy lies with him in the last few moments. And I guess the soft part of us was like, we can't just leave this kid there, and I think the key thing for me is it doesn't feel like, I didn't feel necessarily that she's going to get any sort of comeuppance necessarily. It's just the mere fact that he's got out is something, but I was keen definitely not to feel like, oh, we're going to see like the police coming in and the sirens and she's getting her just desserts. It's more just that we get a glimpse that that it's not just going to be the super bleak ending, but obviously you could have done it that way, and I think perhaps you prefer it. Some people would.
It's still very bleak.
Yeah.
Like all those adults still did that.
Yeah. I mean, that's also the thing. Yeah. Again, that tonal tightrope. It doesn't go away just because he got out. I mean, he's going to need years of therapy.
But life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we do kind of have to wrap up. And just before we do, I just want to say on behalf of TIFF and the audience, thank you so much for your questions. And just one more proper round of applause. Thank you so much.
Yeah, laughter is a reaction to discomfort, and I think you're allowed to laugh at it. Teach the magic of filmmaking to young people in school, and it was really tough being a teacher. I remember like one of the first times I was like having a lecture for like 14-year-olds. They took all my iPads and they put on an alarm every minute, and they changed the password on them. So when I started talking like about like film is magic, then it just started ringing all the time. I mean, they're really tough. Yeah.
What was it like for you, Jess, like to adapt the screenplay?
It was a beautiful challenge. It was unique, but basically when I came on board, Jonathan had the concept, and the idea was that they wanted to set it in a British school because our education system is just that much worse than in Sweden, and so the inequality really shines. And so kind of we developed it out from there, and I think for me it was like Jonathan has such a unique tone. I think it was preserving his tone, but also kind of making it feel credible and lived in, and sort of bringing that Britishness and the Henry Hoovers and the terrible class inequality and all that, and putting that in, and yeah, hopefully making it feel believable despite the absurdity, which I think was the challenge.
Yeah, entirely fair. And I just want to also like talk about kind of the casting process, because I'm always fascinated by films that have a lot of children in it, in terms of bringing them in terms of acting with them, in terms of directing them, writing for them. Like, what is that process like, that down the line of casting this?
Yeah, it was really hard to cast. I mean, I think we had 2,000 children testing for the part of Danny, and but we had a great casting director, Fiona Weir, and so she was really like, she couldn't relax until we had found him, and so it was, and we were sort of nearing the shoot, and but then. Yeah, and it's sort of hard to find someone who has that sort of quality, like there's this anger right underneath his skin. But then, yeah, finally she found him in the north of England. Yeah.
That's right. What was your experience like working with these kids?
Some of those kids, I should say, because I'm from Bristol, and we did the read through in my primary school, which was was very strange. But some of those kids go to the school that my mum works in. I don't know if I told you that, but yeah.
I didn't know.
There was the gym scene, the interrogation scene. I'll make this quick, sorry. Like, I remember you saying, you just have to get the kids together. You just have to wrangle the kids. And you know, they're gonna do what kids do. Yeah. And I could not. It's 2 different times. I was like, I had to actually write, and in the end, one of the times I was like, between takes, I was like, guys, you guys are amazing kids. But the scene has to happen over there. It's about Sasha.
And there were so many takes, I remember, and they just got, you know, more and more unruly for each time, and the takes were just longer and longer because they were just like they wouldn't go out of the room.
Kids, they're just like us, you know. I want to open it up to the floor, and we got a question right in front.
I really enjoyed the film. It was so funny. I had such a great time watching this movie.
Thank you.
So initially I thought, oh man, Danny's such the bad kid. He's so, you know, does all these bad things, and it's like, oh, okay. Then you see the movie, it's like, oh, this is just good kid. He steals the building. But then Pauline, I was like, oh, she's such a nice kid. Oh my god, this kid is so evil. At the end, it was like, oh, thank you for putting in that scene, which did great. It's just like, so in creating the character, I don't know if she was in the book or not, but just wondering if you could speak to getting all the things that made her come out as so evil. And also was the whole casting ginger playing the movie.
So, yeah, the question really is about just like creating like the character of Pauline.
Yeah. So the character of Pauline, sorry, there were so many questions. but yeah, I mean, she's not in the book, so it's actually like it was just like a feeling like there's a certain point to which this film can go from that point. Before she knocks on the door, it's like, you know, it's going to get worse and worse for Maria, and the police are going to finally find her, probably. So really it was like, yeah, what should really happen? And then suddenly it was like, yeah, we should have this girl just show up, and she's like obsessed with this teacher and starts blackmailing her. Yeah, and that just felt like a very interesting path for it to go, I think.
I think if I can add, we were also quite interested in the idea that the characters were all kind of lonely in their own ways, and then we're in this sort of terrible triangle, kind of finding connection, but it also being disastrous. And so I think she added another angle on that kind of perspective.
much though. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna hold my hand up to see the light, but looking for staying out here for like an amazing Q&A that we are about to have. We are obviously in a bit of a bigger stage. If you do have questions, please just make sure to raise your hands up nice and high, and I will do my best to get to as many of you as possible. But now, I'm going to introduce 4 people that made this film possible. You've already met Jonathan Etzler. Come on out. And then Jacob Anderson, Jess O Kane, and producer Oscar Pinlock. Thank you all so much for taking the time out to do this. Before I open up to the audience, there's just like a couple questions I want to say, and obviously we're going to begin right at the beginning of the project. Let's talk about this concept. Let's talk about this idea. Where did it come from, and how did it become the film that we saw today?
Well, it's based on a Swedish novel, sort of, and from that I developed the storyline with Jess, and I think sort of what fascinated with me was the sort of moral dilemma of it, like how do we do with people who can't fit into the sort of boxes that we have in society. Yeah, and I used to be a teacher,